Think of riding a bike. Imagine writing a book about riding a bike. You lay it all out, a really thick book, telling you the nature of the bike and how to ride it, how to balance what the bike is, what you should do, where you can go, how to properly ride a bike. And you give this to people, and they've never ridden a bike, but you make them memorize the book, forwards and backwards. There's thousands of pages in the book about riding a bike, and they all memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book that the people who wrote it did not want you to ride a bike. So because they don't want you to ride the bike, they have to be the authors of a book on how to ride it. Does that make sense? I mean, logically, that would be the strategy, would it not? If you want to control people and keep them from being able to ride a bike, then you have to be the one in charge of all the information about the bike and all the instructions on how to ride it. So what you're going to do is you're going to mess it up. Imagine adding things in like to properly ride the bike, you have to make sure that you lean all the way to the left. And remember, you're not good enough to ride the bike. You don't really deserve to ride the bike. And the bike is angry with you, and you're going to have to beg the bike for mercy, and the odds that you're going to be able to do it successfully are almost nil. But memorize the book anyway. And you have all kinds of contradictions in this book. But the people can't argue with the contradictions because they've never ridden a bike. And then say somebody comes along who's ridden a bike. And this person goes up to somebody who's memorized a book on riding a bike, but has never ridden one. And you get into a conversation about the bike. Now, you've ridden one, it's natural to you. But this person has been forced to memorize a book with fear and shame and guilt about the whole thing on how to ride a bike, but they've never done it. I guarantee you that you would get into an argument. It would probably go something like this. Here, let me take a look at your book. I've ridden a bike, let me just take a look at it. You start reading through the book, and you're like, whoa, hang on a second. And they say, what? You say, what is this? Lean all the way to the left? Sir, you would fall if you did that.
No. I know. I memorized that. That's chapter 3, paragraph 9. You must lean all the way to the left in order to successfully ride the bike.
Sir, that's crazy. You'll fall.
No. You're evil. This is the word of the bike. The bike wrote this, and this is its word, and it says that to ride it, it knows, and it's used to lean to the left.
Sir, I guarantee you the bike didn't write this. Here, look at this other chapter. Let me show you something. You see in this chapter how it talks about 90-degree angles? How it would be better to be positioned in a 90-degree angle on... And now look over here, it says lean to the left. Didn't you notice that contradiction?
It's the word of the bike. It knows. It understands its own contradiction.
What? Sir, I've ridden a bike. I don't know what's going on here, but I can tell you that whoever wrote this book does not want you to be able to ride a bike. And this big, heated, emotional argument ensues. Now, had you never ridden a bike, you wouldn't be able to look at that book and know what the lies are. It would be impossible for you to tell. So you say to the person, hey, look, here's a bike over here. You see? Yeah, they exist. You don't need to read about them. They exist. They've just been hiding them from you. This is a real bike right here. Here, get on. No. Just trust me. Get on the bike here. Put your legs over. And then you give them a push. And they try to ride. And they lean all the way to the left. And they fall. And now they're scared. The bike hates me. I must repent. No. Sir, you're copying the book, and the book doesn't want you to know how to ride the bike. The bike wrote this, but listen, just try it again. You put them on the bike, You give them a little push, and they fall again. And you say, watch me. And you get on the bike, and you're riding all over the place. And so now that they see you riding the bike, you've got their attention. You've got their attention because they've been reading about a bike and how to ride it their whole lives. And they can't understand why they can't ride it and you can. Maybe they think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with you. Well, that's not a real bike then. Yes, sir, it is. It's a real bike. Just try it again. And so you put them on the bike and you say, let go of the book. Trust yourself. Listen, you won't believe this, but you were designed to ride that bike. That's your very design, and the book is keeping you from knowing that you naturally know how to ride it. Forget the rigidity of this book. Trust your instinct and try it again. So you put them on this bike, and they make it 20 feet before they fall. Oh my God, I did it! That was fun! Yeah, that's your design. Do you know that as a bike rider, that's what you enjoy the most? Did you feel controlled when you were riding that bike, or did you feel more free than you've ever felt in your life? Now, of course, the authors of the book and the people that promote the book get pretty angry when they find out about this. You're blowing their whole scam out of the water. That's no good to them, right? Because you see evidence of the bike around, but you've never ridden one, they need to create that book to include the evidence, but tear you away from it at the same time. Well, this is a metaphor, of course, and I can tell you something about Christ. He was a bike rider, and he rode the bike. And he was trying to get all of you to ride the bike. Instead, they're trying to get you to ride him. Understand my meaning. He was a bike rider, trying to get everybody else who were naturally bike riders to ride the bike. And now they're trying to get you to ride him.